Hello and welcome to our Spotlight webinar today. My name is Justine Siebke and I look after solutions marketing for Syxsense. A couple of notes on housekeeping before we get going. If you have any technical difficulties during the session, I'll be monitoring the chat facility and I'll do my very best to help you. We will, of course, be sending a link to the recording of the session in any case, so feel free to share this with colleagues that you think may be interested in our topic. If you have any questions during the session, please add them to the Q&A facility as we go along, and we'll try to get to as many of those as we can at the end of the presentation. I'm joined today by Rocco Fiore, whose day job is to work with customers to understand their endpoint management and security needs and help them solve their challenges with Syxsense automation and orchestration. Rocco also has a string of networking, cybersecurity, and artificial intelligence certifications and makes up 1/3 of our expert panel on our Zero Data Everyday monthly broadcast, if you want to catch that too. As part of our ongoing quest to bring endpoint and automation to the masses, we decided to partner with Omdia to undertake some exclusive research to discover important trends and viewpoints on the subject. Rocco is going to guide us through the research and its findings on today's session. So with that, I'll hand over to him to introduce the topic and run through today's agenda.
Of course. Thank you very much, Justine. I am Rocco Fiore, sales engineer at Syxsense, where we make a proactive approach to security of prime importance for our customers and stop attacks before they ever happen. That is our goal. That is our mission. And that's why customers work with us. As Justine mentioned, Omdia is a global analyst and advisory leader that helps technologists connect the dots across the technology ecosystem. Their mission is to empower individuals to make smart growth decisions. We know scaling has many landmines, so to say, and what this presentation will focus on heavily is how to enable smart maturity of the IT and security ecosystem within an organization. So we, as Syxsense and Omdia, this is the report that we have commissioned together, collaborative report titled Automation, a Critical Capability for a Proactive Security Strategy. So how did this report come to be? In the first quarter of 2024, Omdia surveyed more than 400 security decision makers in North America, the UK, France, and Germany. With this came significant insights that we found via working with Omdia that align to the Syxsense mission and trending developments of the IT and security ecosystem. So not only things that Syxsense already provided value for that made sense to speak to, but ongoing trends and benefits to IT practitioners, as well as security practitioners and risk management and compliance practitioners. So across all silos of the information technology landscape. So just let me take a moment to explain some context around the emphasis of proactivity within information technology, all right? Let's lay some ground here. You may be familiar with the Common Maturity Model in Software Engineering, which was published in 1986 by the Department of Defense. And we've seen several adaptations of that model within the cybersecurity realm. Department of Energy has published a Cybersecurity Capability Maturity Model, which is a cybersecurity adaptation, sharing similarities with the CMM. The CMM is designed to encompass 5 maturity levels: initial, repeatable, define, manage, and optimize. We see this theme among the progression of levels being the level of proactivity the organization implements. For example, the second stage within that model, repeatable, is defined by a project-based approach, yet reactive. The third stage is the same, a project-based approach, yet proactive. And then we layer on top of that a proactive approach with measured and controlled processes. And finally, a formal feedback loop for the 5th stage, which is optimize. We see this proliferation of this methodology up to the current day with the release of NIST CSF 2.0, which has a very strong emphasis on proactive security. The improvements over previous versions include an entirely new function in governance, the key cornerstone for proactive risk management, and a new category in the identify function, apologies, which guides on the use for continuous improvement for proactive risk identification. Similarly to the evolution towards the optimized stage in the CMM, which focuses on process improvement. So we can see this trend more and more towards the proactive side of how we manage processes within cybersecurity and risk management. Some call it a shift left, but overall, the emphasis of stopping bad events and threat actors from causing bad events before they ever happen is becoming more and more of an emphasis, whether it be because of time saved, that we have to undertake a detection and response actions, or whether it be increasing costs due to reputation harm, etc. We see that this is a common approach within the industry. Now, a couple drivers for proactive security, as I just spoke to: threat anticipation, risk reduction, efficiency improvement, compliance and maintenance, security improvement, whether it be on the cybersecurity side of things, whether it be on the compliance side of things, more so organizations being mandated by cybersecurity insurance or other government regulations, or a combination of both. There are a number of drivers for proactive security internally and externally. And here we see, again, more along those lines, the drivers and really what is proactive security. So we see a number that can be taken within a risk reduction program right here. Along the lines of vulnerability management, we have threat hunting, attack simulation, continuous monitoring to identify and address vulnerabilities early, and then implementing a hardened configuration baseline. So a whole holistic program will incorporate all of these elements in some way, shape, or form. The key is twofold: threat awareness on one hand, with threat hunting and continuous monitoring, and then hardened defenses, which can sufficiently withstand threat maneuvering in all pieces of the cyber kill chain. And then breach and attack simulation for that piece of a continuous feedback loop, as we mentioned before, for many years has been a key function of proactive security for an organization. Syxsense specifically plays right in this realm right here in terms of implementing a hardened configuration baseline, taking an automated approach to device hardening, helping not only with patch updates, but also non-patch vulnerabilities, configuration baselines, such as utilizing CIS benchmarks to create that hardened posture for an organization in an automated fashion. And then also giving detailed reporting and visibility into an environment to help establish that continuous feedback loop. So the Omdia report expands on all of these concepts I've stated in further depth, which we will explore. Our in-depth findings include 70% security decision makers have increased spend on proactive security. And we see this and how important it is to them. And we can see within those 400 respondents what stage they are of adoption. So we have here 64% of all organizations are deploying integrated capabilities. What does that mean? That is a combination of our strategic and semi-strategic categories, which from strategic to tactical, we have 29% have said they have a strategic process in place. This means proactive solutions are a key element of a holistic approach to improving cybersecurity and or driving risk reduction. 35% semi-strategic, looking for ways to expand and connect both existing capabilities, but not as a part of a comprehensive strategy. 25% risk management. Now, this category is driven by the need to reduce cybersecurity risk from a compliance standpoint. 11% tactical, one-off purchases and refreshes based on specific use cases and business requirements. Now, as we can see, as we move up the ladder from tactical to strategic here, that governance aspect is more and more apparent. A holistic governance and strategic view and means of operating from a high level in the organization. As mentioned before, think back to NIST now having that function of governance in CSF 2.0. This is what we see as key to implementing proactive security processes and what we consider integrated capabilities for the top two categories, semi-strategic and strategic. Let's touch on some industry benchmarks here. On a per industry basis, we have added 400 respondents on the surveyed. Financial services were ranked number 1, followed by tech at 82%, banking at 80%, healthcare at 77%, retail at 72%. And some more stats here. The term proactive from a governance perspective, right? Stop bad things before they happen. Well, how do we do that? One way, and one of the most prominent way, is through automation. So 79% view automated vulnerability remediation specifically as important or mission critical. This is the realm that Syxsense plays in. Automated vulnerability remediation is one of Syxsense's biggest value adds. For our customers, we've seen processes in terms of implementing an automated baseline reduced from and an automated remediation capabilities. This typical time of security operations teams reduced from months to implement to mere days, if not hours, to implement these capabilities. That is all through our automated remediations within the platform with one click, or you can apply tens of them at once to an environment. And also monitoring to protect from configuration drift to make sure that, once an vulnerability is remediated, it does not need to be remediated again. Strategic advantages. Now, let's take a look at how tactically this leads to our organizational outcomes. Integrated solutions. Consolidation into integrated platforms can alleviate pain points by providing a unified view of risks through different frameworks and full asset context. What does that mean? Now, that isn't integrations per se. We've seen many SaaS products with hundreds of API connectors to your favorite application, right? Over the years, this has been a hidden cause of not only application sprawl. We typically have become accustomed to calling it the technology stack, right? But what it has become is just a larger attack surface, especially with APIs being so highly exploited nowadays. Integrated solutions, true integrated solutions, offer the ability to consolidate several point products into one solution for a holistic, consolidated experience. Yes, be wary of vendors claiming to be a jack of all trades, but recognize the importance of vendors who offer that unified experience and at the same time reduce the attack surface by being more than just a solution that has bridges to other solutions. Syxsense specifically is a holistic solution in which is feature-rich, consolidating a number of point solutions into one platform, and not only that, creating synergy amongst those parts, giving a holistic experience and allowing users to automate a number of those feature areas. Moving on to number 2, enhanced efficiency. This goes without saying. Automation is not only to allow for continuous monitoring, but to save time and cost for the enterprise that can be deployed elsewhere, right? One example, Syxsense has recently published a case study for their work with Iron Road Healthcare. So along same lines, our customers reap a number of benefits when it comes to enhanced efficiency. This case study for Iron Road Healthcare, formerly the Union Pacific Railroad Employees Health System, Union Pacific, that name may ring a bell, in which they were coming to us to look for an easy to implement an affordable unified platform, right? One solution that can consolidate a number of other solutions across IT operations, across security operations, across risk management, um, and specifically patch management, remediating configuration vulnerabilities, and establishing secure baseline of configurations for their endpoints. In that white paper, which we just published, we described a process how we walk them through taking them from one their current situation, which involved a lot of pain in terms of using multiple solutions, to one that was automated and using a unified, consolidated platform. So you can check out our website for more details on our work with Iron Road Healthcare. But it's a great description of what we're speaking about here. So, on to number 3, strategic risk management. So we talked about, IT operations, security operations, and then also the risk management silo coming together as a third piece in terms of our consolidation, not just for consolidation of features and point solutions, but also giving a cross collaboration platform for a number of different departments that touch the information technology lifecycle. All right. So when it comes to strategic risk management, think secure baselines and imaging, but not only the application of, but how we can protect from also configuration drift. So ensuring that adherence to that baseline sticks across the organization. There's no surprises for the IT operations team, for security operations, for the risk management team as well, and make that active management less cumbersome. So, in the Omdia report, we see how adopting proactive security tools as part of a broader risk reduction strategy can lead to more strategic and effective cybersecurity governance. And we see that word governance again. That is the key, right? The proactive outcomes is to have one thoughtful, a strategic alignment with the governance aspects, all the way down to the tactical and operational outcomes, procedures, right? So, operational alignment, and actually taking a step back for a second, strategic risk management. One other point I wanted to make was within our platform, Syxsense, how we've specifically worked to help risk management teams, security operations, and IT operations is through our adoption of CIS benchmarks. If you're not familiar, the Center of Internet Security has put together a comprehensive for pretty much every system out there, whether it be Windows 10 and 11 endpoints, whether it be Linux systems, whether it be cloud-based systems, a grouping of secure configuration settings in the hundreds for each of these systems can be overwhelming, but it is comprehensive. What we do at Syxsense is we make it less overwhelming. We give the ability to not only have visibility into your systems and where they stand for these configuration settings and having a secure baseline posture, but also to be able to automate the application of and then continuous monitoring to protect from configuration drift. So by working with the Center of Internet Security, Syxsense is given the ability for practitioners of the CIS benchmarks to be able to take that process from months of manual application of local policy, of within systems, and cut that down to days, if not hours, to be able to apply that baseline. And of course, again, adhere to that baseline over time. So jumping into number 4, operational alignment. So where the rubber meets the road, right? That's what we're talking about here, where security and risk management meet. Full circle from number 1 being integrated solutions. A good integrated solution will not only provide a holistic tool set, but allow your team to adopt a holistic approach. to the problem as well, unifying, which is the problem as well, organizationally, right? Getting out of our silos and unifying teams across operations, security, and risk management. And that's what operational alignment is about. Many customers switch to Syxsense to not only fill a tactical need, but to unify their team across levels and departments in one consolidated platform, fostering better communication and shared goals. So again, we spoke to this, the governance aspects, not only governance in order to tie together operational outcomes, but to tie together teams to make those outcomes a possibility. Conclusions. So here we are. So conclusion, basically, if you haven't heard of Syxsense before, welcome. We are ever evolving and ever expanding. We touched on a number of the ways we add value to customers today, and that's through automation. Automation, not just of tactical, of implementing new configurations, right? New vulnerability remediations and of deploying patches, but also of continuous monitoring and giving visibility, adhering to all those baselines, not creating double work for your teams, and bringing all of the teams together within an organization, consolidating point products. And all of this contributes to how Syxsense not only fills a need, but makes a transformational impact to organizations every day of all sizes as well. So as we say, automation can be achieved by any size of organization, regardless of their cybersecurity and maturity. Ask us how. We are more than happy to help, and we are here for you. Now, to the Q&A, feel free to ask anything. We love fielding questions. So please ask away.
Thanks, Rocco. And I'm glad you mentioned the story about Iron Road Healthcare. I think it's a great example of how organizations can embrace proactivity and security. And I'm minded to encourage everyone to go and have a look at that case study. One of the features of their implementation was that they were able to pick up a developer who was using a piece of software, non-authorized, bit of shadow IT there, that had a 0-day vulnerabilities, and they were able, because they were using Syxsense, to pick that up early and just cut that that attack vector out.
For sure.
That said, it's always great when people engage with our webinars, and I've got a couple of questions here. The first is it's around platform deployment. So is platform deployment rather than individual products the best way to achieve proactive security?
For sure. So we talk about this all the time of not just deploying point solutions, right? Giving users simple tools here and there, but as a tool set, giving our customers a tool set, right? So we're not pigeonholing them into the way of us doing things, but we're meeting them right where they're at, being able to implement automation within their current processes and empowering them with those processes, right? Similar to what we did with Iron Road Healthcare and many other customers over the years. So we have a number of other case studies to check out on our website as well, where we're helping customers in the same way, provide them with a platform. And again, the organizational impact is massive as well. Bringing these teams together, teams that in a lot of instances we meet with who may not have spoken in months, or they speak through tickets, right? Actually getting them speaking and working together within one platform often not only allows our solution to help them implement fixes and new ways of doing things, but just the conversations they have and that brings to the table, and having them collaborate together in a more efficient manner gives a rise to a whole new set, and really changes the culture and the ethos of teams that touch that information technology life cycle within an organization. So that platform approach, we've seen it transform organizations over the years, and we continue to preach that, and we will continue to be practitioners of that, continuing to build out a holistic system, a holistic platform for customers to use.
So just pushing you further on that, can a
Yes,
platform be too uh, broad? Can it be too all-encompassing?
uh,
You mentioned earlier about, beware the jack of all trades.
100%.
Mm,
100%. I mean, if you get a platform that does a lot of things that they aren't great at, quite simply, right?
mm,
That's where we've, it's that's problem has given rise to the integrated tech stack, right? Which comes with its own problems I mentioned. Increased
mhm.
attack surface, um, you know, API security has become an entire realm of cybersecurity in itself. But if we can reduce that attack surface and give customers, which Syxsense does, a tool set that is all efficient on its own, right? But an integrated solution where it plays together and has synergy amongst itself. That is the idea. So to do that, you really need an expert cybersecurity team. You need practitioners who use the product as well. And that is part of the Syxsense culture. We make sure we put ourselves in the customer seat. We make sure we're using the product on a daily basis as well. I'm more than happy to walk you through even how we do that internally to use it on a daily basis. So, very important to us. And those are great questions. Very important part of what we do, and also the technology landscape right now.
Okay, I think we've got time for one more, and this is, I think, right up your alley. Um, do you have any tips for getting extra budget for
Uh,
tools in this area?
well, the number one thing is because we do this every day is to just speak with our team. Our team here, a lot of times, specifically my job and our job as consultants and advisors to our customers is also not only showing you the tool, showing you how it's going to alleviate your pain points and check off those items that you're looking to implement, but also how this can be implemented in your organization, how we can work with you if you're in a position where you need to present to your higher ups, etc. How we can help you with that process, and we believe in win-win. So win-win for you, for your higher ups, for everybody all around. So it's definitely case dependent, right? Syxsense offers a price point and a tier structure that is flexible for organizations of all size. Specifically, we work extensively with lean IT teams, small to medium sized enterprises. We know budgets fluctuate around that area. And you know, we're very equipped to help companies implement organizationally, not just technically.
Okay, thanks, Rocco. We'll be reaching out to you
Hmm.
afterwards, just to make sure that you have all the ammunition that you need if you are looking to get some more automation within your stack. With that, I'd like to say thank you very much for joining us, and thank you, Rocco, for guiding us through that. And we'll look forward to seeing you on the next webinar. Thank
For
you.
sure. Take care, everyone. Thanks for joining.